Okay, folks, we have to fix this because apparently I'm an idiot and didn't set this up for vertical or for horizontal. I set it up for vertical. All right, give me a second while I rotate this. And we do a little bit of this. And we do some of, oops, oopsie daisy. All right, so I don't know how the hell that happened, but okay. It is what it is. So there we are. Well, hello, folks. This is a different look. I'm not used to this. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all doing well. All right, let's do a roll call, see who's here. All right. All right. So far, we have Marco Yee, Ground Fog, East Coast Ghost, Ramsey Silent channel member, None for Now channel member. We've got Cicero, who's a channel member. Let's see who else is here. Adventure Man, thanks for joining the Adventurers Guild. You get a salute. Actually, since you're new, you get a lightsaber salute. Well, welcome to the channel. And that's great because that makes you eligible for the members giveaway in a little while. Let's see if we can get this straightened out. I hate the view of this at the moment. Sorry, kids. This is my fault, but I'll explain later how this wound up happening. Actually, I'll explain it now. What had happened was I set this up to be horizontal, but then I went back in to add the membership giveaway link, the comment link. And when I did that, I had to reset it and I forgot to change it back to horizontal. So we get vertical tonight. It is what it is, right? All right. Who else is here? Wow, we've got a long conversation going, and I missed all that. Robert Jones, channel member. Hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. Bill Yorg, channel member. Welcome in, Bill. I had no idea you were a channel member. Ed Gordon, welcome in. Welcome in. Who else do we have? Did I miss anybody? Douglas Wagner, welcome in, buddy. All right. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get everybody, we will. So, KR Knives Review, channel member, welcome in. Hey, it's the Johnsons, channel member. Welcome in, buddy. So, as the title of the video says, screw milk and cookies. Santa doesn't want any of that. Santa wants new knives. He wants sharp, pointy. That's exactly what he wants. Just like all of us. We want sharp and pointy. So there. I said it. All right. So I hope everybody is having a great week and had a great weekend. Robin Dallum, channel member, welcome in. Robert Willoughby, welcome in, my friend. All right, we're starting to build up the numbers. We've got 20 people so far. It's a nice start. We know this will grow as the time goes on. So this week we got some stuff in. We didn't get a lot in. Thank you, Robin. I'm a huge Zelda fan, like really big Zelda fan. I'm probably not gonna be able to find it, but oh well, we'll look later. Let's see. So I didn't. No worries, none for now. Welcome back. I'm glad you're awake. So this week we got some stuff in. We didn't get a lot, but before we show off what came in, let's talk about some things. Has everybody been following along the Flightanium drama with Titanium Justin? I'm glad if anybody watched this video, they know he had a what you would call it. He had some problems with Flytanium and their customer service. It's all been resolved now, but it should have never have come to that. For those who don't know, real quick, I'll sum it up. Titanium Justin was on the Flytanium website and he ordered a arcade light, and he clicked on it what he thought was a regular sale, but it took him Matt Maurer, hello, but it took him to the garage sale section, and he bought it and he got it for like $70 as opposed, I believe, around $70 instead of the $100 it usually is. And when he got it, it was Neil McKenzie, channel member for 4 months. Thank you, Neil. And you will get a lightsaber salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the channel members. So getting back, Book Dragon Jen, hello there. I don't know why you're still awake. 5 o'clock a.m. comes pretty soon. But Cliff Brott, hello there. Hope your son's doing well, buddy. Glad to see you here. So, like I said, Titanium Justin had ordered it, and it wound up being a garage sale item, but that wasn't clear on the website when he ordered it. Turned out that it had um, deployment issues with the lockup and would get stuck. So, yeah, Blue, I screwed up when I was setting the channel settings. I messed up. So we're going vertical. We'll have to live with it for tonight, you know. But it's all good. We're all here together. We're just skinnier. Although I look fatter on this. I don't know why. It's because the angle. I hate it. I really do hate this, by the way. All right. We're gonna go right there. So getting back to what I was saying. So Titanium Justin had the problem. It wouldn't deploy. He contacted them and they basically told him, go scratch, go pound salt. We're not gonna warranty it because you bought a garage sale item. Bluminati Ninja, welcome to the Adventurers Guild. And thank you for joining. And you get a lightsaber salute. Appreciate that, Blue. So, like I said, they said they wouldn't warranty it. He contacted and reached out and said, "Hey, I have a YouTube channel. I actually have an affiliation link with you and a discount code. I've done plenty of videos, and I generally like your product. But there's a problem here, and it's not just cosmetic." Well, the girl who basically responded to him basically told him, got really rude with him. I don't remember the exact word, but she got really rude with him, and it pissed him off. So he actually, and if you know Justin, um, Justin is Savo Zen. Welcome in. Glad to see you here, buddy. Thomas EDC Gates, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. So if you know Justin, we all pretty much know Justin. He's very mild mannered. But it forced him to actually go out and do a video where he kind of told the story. And everybody in the community rallied around Justin and contacted Flytanium. Well, long story short, too late for that, I know. But Flytanium got in touch with him. They apologized for the way he was treated. They straightened it out. They restored his discount codes that they had taken down, and everything's all good. He's sending them the knife. They're going to see if they can fix it. If they can't fix it, they're going to send him a new one. And he communicated with them, and they are actually going to take a look at their website to make things more abundantly clear if you're buying a sale item or a garage sale item. Now, not all garage sale items are defective. Some of them are just really on very low clearance. Like for instance, I bought these loop scales for my Benchmade as a garage sale item. These were originally like, I don't know, like I don't remember what the original price of these were. They're like $80, but I think when I got them on the garage sale, I think they were like down to like 15 bucks. And I couldn't resist them. And I love the way they look on my Benchmade. So not everything in the garage sale is damaged. Sometimes it's just a deep clearance. And they need to be more clear about that. So apparently they're going to work on that, hopefully get that straightened out. And I'm glad it all worked out for Titanium Justin. But it's just a lesson that companies need to learn. You can't treat your customers like they're not important. Every customer is important. I'm in business. And Roger Baker, member for 4 months. You need to get a salute. Beautiful. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So I'm in business, and sometimes even if you know you're in the right and that you have documentation or guarantee, warranty, whatever the case may be, sometimes you have to just eat that and realize it's better to keep a customer than to have, especially someone who has a YouTube channel, piss them off so that way they can spread negative publicity, you know? And, at the same time, you don't give away the farm, but you try to do right by your customers. And they didn't do that. So I'm glad it all worked out now, but really, these companies should, Cicero, member for 4 months. Hey, it's the Johnsons, member for 1 month. You get a lightsaber salute. Robin Dallin, member for 3 months. You also get a lightsaber salute. Ralph Robertson sent a hot chocolate emoji. Thanks for that, Ralph. All right. Wyoming Adventures sent one adventure gift membership, and that was received by Thomas EDC Gates. Thank you for that, Sheila, and thank you for being here. Just noticed you're here, and thank you for being a member yourself. So, first we got Robert Jones with a 4 month membership. And Wyoming Adventures, this is for you for gifting a membership. And then we have None for Now, member for 2 months. Thank you all so much for being members. I totally appreciate that. All right. Titanium Justin, you must have your ears must be ringing because we were just literally talking about the whole thing with you and Titanium. So good to see you in here, buddy. And Justin's a channel member as well. So folks, in the top of the description for this video is the link to the comment video to be eligible for the giveaway. Make sure you get in there. We've got a box of stuff, some cool stuff, some I don't know, just stuff. It's gonna be a good one. Joe Kasperick, my friend, hello there. Tegan, hello there. And by the way, anybody who's got a channel, throw your link in the description. EDCKO10, hello there and welcome in. Welcome in. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. Greatly appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about what came in this week. Not a lot came in, but some stuff did. First thing that came in is what's in this box. This is a buckshot knife that I won in a giveaway on Whatnot. It was a mystery giveaway. I had no idea what was coming. And in the box is this monstrosity. Look at that. This thing weighs a ton. It's got a kitchen cleaver kind of blade to it with these weird kind of, I don't know, milling on the handle and the blade. Really nice jimping. And I got to say, it does feel comfortable. Unfortunately, it's a buckshot, which buckshot puts together some decent stuff, but the steel is always bad. It's a 3CR. Yeah, it's 3CR steel. So not the greatest stainless, but again, this was a free giveaway. I want it. Not going to complain. It is sharp. I did kind of have it out of the box and played with it a bit, and it is comfortable in the hand. You've got a clip that's not reversible, you know, but it's cool looking. You know, I really like it for what it is. Again, free knife. I don't say anything bad about a free knife. You know, would this be my first choice? No. Would I pick this out? No. But now I have something unique in my collection. James McCann, hello there. Welcome in, buddy. But not bad. I'll take it for what it is. So next thing that came in is something that's going to be on the channel later this week. The video will be out for it. And that is what's in here. This is the Finch. This is a Finch. Finch sent this over for me to review. I took it out of the box already. Cat Scratch, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. And this one is the one I can't remember the name. It's the Geneva Spur. You get your stickers in there. But most importantly, you get this really cool looking knife. This is that cream soda resin finish. It's a frame lock, so it only has the finish side on the show side. You've got a clip, wire clip. It's not reversible. It's a flipper. Really feels great. It's about, on me, it's just 4 fingers. That's all you're getting on there. No jimping on top, but I love that Warncliffe blade. Sharp as hell. 154. Yeah, 154 is it? Yep, 154 cm. So really good blade steel. These are being released, I believe, on the 12th. I have to double check that, but I believe this is being released on the 12th, so 2 days from now. But Finch make none for now. Finch makes some great knives, and they've supported the channel for a while now. They've given us stuff to give away. They've given me a bunch of knives to review. I really love what they do, and every knife is a quality knife. I haven't had one that's bad. So, but that is interesting. They make this. They're making this in 3 colorways. They make it in a stag, and they also make it in an abalone. The abalone is the nicest one, I think, but this is pretty cool. Friday, December 12th. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, not Tuesday. I said that's what I meant. Friday, December 12th. So these are going to drop. I'll have the video out before them, so you can check it out in total. Frame lock. Nice access to the frame lock. I don't know if you can see, but it protrudes under the show side, and it's got jimping right there. So you can really get in there with one hand. It just sounds great. You know, I'm really digging this. So that came in. Yep. Yeah, they did. Kiss did win that. That's been known for a while that they were going to be there. Unfortunately, the original band, the original 4 were supposed to be there, but obviously Ace passed away, so that didn't happen. And the sad part is, from what I had read, he was really looking forward to that because it was going to be the full 4 original members. And I think, as you've seen now, since Ace passed away, Gene has a lot of regrets about what happened. Um, he's coming out, and there was a thing a few years ago. Ace has always said him and Gene were friends, even in the worst of times when they were talking crap about each other. They were still always friends. And Gene had made a statement on a talk show that, I don't really have any friends. And Ace called him up and said, Gene, what the hell are you talking about? He goes, we're friends. He goes, we talk every week. He goes, whether it be by text or on the phone. He goes, even when we were at our worst, we've always talked all the time. He goes, we've never stopped being friends. He goes, business decisions are one thing. He goes, but we were always friends. And Gene has acknowledged that over the years, Ace has been one of his friends. And the biggest regret that he has now is that they didn't get the original lineup back together in some capacity, and that Ace didn't make it to this event. So kind of sad in a way. especially for me. You guys know I'm a huge Kiss fan, and Ace Frehley is one of my influences in wanting to play guitar when I was younger. It's the reason why I play Marshall amps, the reason why I have Les Pauls. Then again, I have every guitar under the sun, but that's besides the point. That's a whole nother point. But, you know, it was just kind of sad. But all right. So the next knife that came in, moving on to happier things, was this guy. And that is the Ozark Trail Glacier. Now, this was out last year without a name. This year it became the Glacier. And they came out with it in this olive green. So I had to have it. $7. You can't go wrong. Another 3CR stainless steel, but ultra light. Action's really good on it. The lockup's really good. Dead center. Springs out of there, no problem. You know, reversible pocket clip. Not a deep carry, but it is reversible. So lefty and righty love here. And you don't have jimping on top of the blade. You do have it on the handle right here, but it feels really good. I mean, you could do a lot worse for $7 than these. We talked about it last week with the Ridgeline, but I yes, it is. Yep, none for now. This was last year. This was in white. You can actually still find it in white, but I think that they ran out of the white, so now the stores have all gotten the olive, and they gave it a name. It's the Glacier, which the Glacier made more sense when it was white, but now they made it, black. But I love this knife. Like I said, I have the white one. I had a white one that I had dyed purple, but I sent that to Ed Harrison, and he's enjoying it now. So you know, it's a fun knife. Like I said, $7. You want to throw this in a top of a toolbox, in the bottom of your backpack. Not as like a secondary knife. Just throw it in the glove compartment. Um, give it to a kid who may lose it. Doesn't matter. It's $7. You know, it's stainless. 3CR. It's not gonna. You have good corrosion resistance. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna hold an edge. You know, but it's not the worst steel out there. All right, it's close to the worst steel out there, but $7. What do you want? You know. So I didn't. This was an interesting week. There was supposed to be more that arrived. The postal service is all screwed up now. This week, like 6 packages were supposed to arrive, and only 2 did. So all the others I'm seeing now are in transit or in network, and they're close by, but you know, but the table's here. It's just because of the way this is sitting, it's lower. Because I had to put this stupid vertical. But yeah, no, I am behind the table. I am behind the table. It's just that I am unfortunately screwed up with my shooting, so that's why we're vertical and not horizontal. So Roger Baker, the Blue Valor is a really good knife. Um, Not next week, the week after, I'm going to be having my um, top knives of the year video, and that may make an appearance, in its category. But well, here's the thing, Sheila. I don't understand because usually when things get to um, Teterboro, which is the stop right before my post office, if they get to Teterboro, they usually hit my post office and go out for delivery the following day. Well, like 6 things hit Teterboro on like during the week and was supposed to come like Friday. And all of a sudden, went back into the app. They never showed up before I went to the app, and everything is showing moving through network. And realistically, Teterboro to my post office is like an hour and a half drive. So they should have been here, but now they're all showing that they showed up at the local post office and should be delivered Monday or Tuesday. Even UPS got slowed down and FedEx on one package, which has nothing to do with the other stuff. So it is what it is. So let's show you what Did anybody take advantage of some of the Black Friday deals? Because I took advantage of one. That's not true. I took advantage of a couple, but only one that showed up so far. And that one was this one, the Kaiser Militar fixed blade. I wanted this one. I have all the other Militars, so I said I wanted to have the fixed blade. These went down half price. These went down to $24.99. And I had to have it. It's the D2 version, but it's a Militar. It does Militar things, you know, feels really good. You've got two sections of jimping on top. You've got the jimping right along here, and then you've got the jimping right at the front of the blade, which I really like in a knife. You know, you get that nice cutting with it. But, and what I like, taco style sheath, not a pancake sheath. So that'll make a nice pocket dropper if I put an ulti clip on it as opposed to the tech lock. Or I just might throw it in a scout, turn this and throw it in a scout position, you know. But for the money, for 24 bucks, $24.99, you know, I couldn't resist. Kaiser had so many good deals right now. I think they're still going on. They had a bunch of knives at 50% off, you know. Yeah, I know none for now. Um, to be honest, I probably shouldn't have even bought this one, but I did. You know, you only live and die once. But snag a crock and porcupine, but mostly electrician tools to supplement. Very cool. Very cool. So the next thing we're going to switch to is that's the last of the knives. Like I said, not a lot of knives came in. Actually, that's not true. One of the knives that's in the giveaway came in this week, but I ordered that specifically for the giveaway. We'll get that to that when we get to the giveaway time. So some things that came in that I still haven't even unpacked yet. So let's get these out of the packages. This was the week for pouches that came to me. So first one we have is the Maxpedition, the small platy. I had done the review of the large platy, and Maxpedition reached out to me again because they were sending me some other pouches, which I'll show you next to review. And I said to them, you know, when you sent me the large one, you were also supposed to send me the small one to review. And they're like, you didn't get it. And I was like, no. And then they checked. They're like, yeah, we didn't ship it. So they decided to ship this out so I could actually review this. You know, a few months too late, but I don't care. That's fine because the video is going to be coming out. No, James, I want to order the Thorn, but I'm going to wait for a little bit. Christmas is coming. Book Dragon Jen may or may not be getting a list of stuff I want for Christmas, so that might be on there. So the next one that came in is this tiny one. And I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's been all over YouTube, but this is the Pico organizer, which is a really tiny organizer. They're saying it's the smallest one in its class. And I think it might be true because the smallest one I have is by Zero Feud. And I think this might be about the same size, you know, but great little organizational pouches. This I like because I can put together a pouch that I can literally throw in my back pocket, you know, or in the inside pocket of my coat, you know, now that it's cold out. So we're gonna do a loadout video with this week. So that came in, and what I think maybe my new wallet came in from whatchamacallit, from Maxpedition, and that is the front pouch platy. If you notice, it's rounded off to go in your front pocket. So I'm going to try to use this as a wallet this week. What I'm thinking is, because you guys have seen me pull stuff out of my pockets, I keep things in like all over my pockets. I think if I could put all my EDC stuff in one little pouch like this and keep it in one pocket, you know, I think it would work out great. So I'm going to go with that. This was really kind of cool. You know, you've got a main pouch right there, or a main pocket that zips up. Then you've got a smaller pocket here on the front. And then you've got a larger pocket on the back. I think I could fit most of my little small tools and stuff in here, you know. Well, that's true. If you indulge in such things, you could absolutely do that, you know. But I think this was kind of cool. I'm going to try it. They also give you on this one a neck strap. I'm most likely going to take the neck strap off, and they also give you in here a key ring. So if you want to attach your keys and shove them in there, I don't do that because I use a what should we call it, a key unity key holder, because I like to have my keys set up in there like a little Swiss Army knife, and the fact that it keeps them silent is a winner to me. Let me get these little bags out of the way. And then the last thing that came into the channel, no, that's not true. It's one more big thing after that, is this. This is a Vosteed pocket organizer. Obviously a little bit bigger than a pocket, but you've got this nice zip up pouch on the front. You've got a zip up pouch on the back, a zip up pocket, I should say. You've got your Molly webbing here and here. You've got two pockets on the front here, and then a larger main pocket. I think this would make a nice EDC. Robert Jones with the super chat, 9.99 super chat. Thank you, Robert. That is so generous. I appreciate that. Hey, you know what? You get 3 more. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate that. So this is kind of a cool pouch, and I won this one on a whatnot giveaway as well. So I didn't actually know what this pouch was because when I won it, the host held it up in a bag, and I thought it was a knife roll. I didn't realize it was another pouch, you know. So I'll try this one out, maybe do a video with that one. And then the last thing I got was a backpack. I've been looking for a new backpack, kind of like I've got big backpacks for hiking. I've got smaller day packs. I wanted something for in between. And Ron Crow, welcome in, channel member. How are you doing, buddy? I saw last night that you went on in Big Red Spot. I had thought about going on in Big Red Spot, but I fell asleep. So I was just going to do a pop up, and then I realized when I woke up, I was like, "Oh, it was like 1:15 a.m." And I was like, "Oh, Ron's on. All right, not going to bother." So Angelo, welcome in. Long time no see, buddy. How are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. So, so the last thing I was looking for was like a medium size, like day pack that maybe you could take maybe 2 3 days worth of stuff with it. And I was zooming around on YouTube, and I found this pack that was being uh, celebrated by a few like really experienced bushcrafters, and I was like, really? And it's a mossy oak backpack. Let me grab this thing. Kind of like it. So it's only a 20-liter backpack. It's not a giant pack, but they call it their hunting backpack. Um, some of the things I like about it, it's 20 liters, right? But you have a top that folds down. It doesn't fold down completely, which is nice because if you have to reach in there, you're not going to lose your stuff. I've had backpacks that unzip this way and they fold down, and then stuff is just falling everywhere. So I like that. You've got a pocket, right, mesh pocket right here. Inside, let's see if I can get this open. Inside, you've got a deep pocket here, right? And this opens pretty wide. And then you've got a secondary pocket right behind. This can be used with a hydration bladder. You've got your, what you'll call it. You've got your rings here for that, or I should say your clips for that right here. So it works really well. These straps are nicely cushioned and vented. Same thing here on the back. You've got your, cross chest connection right there, right? You've got mesh pockets on the side. So you can fit a water bottle, 2 water bottles. It's flat right now. There's nothing in it, but it really does open up kind of wide. It's a 20 liter. And then on the front, you've got MOLLE straps. And then you've got another deep pocket right here in the front. This is not a zipper pocket. So whatever you put in there, it might, you got to be careful about falling out. And you've got these nice zippers on here. They're not YKK, but they are pretty smooth. So, and then let me tell you about poor customer service on this, not with MadYocco. So these are available at Walmart. These are coming in at $20. You've got I think it's 500 denier on the material itself. So it's very heavy duty. It's stitched really well. Fit and finish is excellent. So let's see what we got here. Am I missing anybody here? Yeah, Bill. So, like I said, this one was released this year, but they're hard to find right now because being sold at Walmart, and almost all the Walmarts are out of them. Well, I found the local Walmart by me had 2 of them. So I put the order in, $20 for these. You can't beat that, right? Well, let me rephrase why I put the order in. I go to the Walmart and I bring up the backpack on the app. It says there's 2 in stock. There's supposed to be an aisle, whatever it was, G21 or F21, whatever the hell it is. I go over there, nowhere to be found. So I find an associate and I'm like, hey, I've got the image on my phone with the location thing. I'm like, have you seen these? I was like, because it says that you have 2 of them in stock and that they're supposed to be there. Thank you, Dirty Dan, and welcome in. Glad you're here. So with that being said, right, he looks at me and goes, well, they're over by the backpacks down that aisle. I said, no, they're not with the backpacks. I was like, they're supposed to be with the rest of the mossy oak stuff that you guys have. He goes, no, 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 they're down there. I said, he goes, all the backpacks. I was like, this is not the same as the regular backpacks. I was like, this is part of that new line of mossy oak that you have a whole aisle dedicated to. I was like, but it's not there. The guy's telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I go down. I can't find it anywhere, right? I look. Nope, it's not where he says it was. I knew that was the case already. So I walked around like another 3 times. I even looked up, see if it was in the top stock on their shelves. Wasn't there. I see the guy again, and I'm like, kind of like, are you sure you don't? This isn't. He goes, and he wouldn't even look at the phone at this point. He's like, no, I told you where it was. I was like, okay, you obviously don't want to help me. So I just said on the app, I looked, and I have a Walmart membership on the app, so it was free delivery, just like if you have Amazon Prime. So I was just like, screw it. And I just sat there and I ordered it right there on the phone with next day delivery. Actually, yeah, next day delivery. So, J1 Doobie, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, of course, it came, it got delivered. No problem. But that's another situation where it's like, dude, all you had to do was say, you don't know. One, you could have just said that. You didn't have to blow me off, say, oh, it's with all the backpacks. No. And the fact that I was showing him on my phone and he refused to look at the phone really pissed me off. And that's kind of sad because that's my local Walmart. There's a Walmart by where I work where I think I told you guys, they have a guy who works in the sporting goods section there. That's fantastic. Always helpful. And this guy was like, he just did not care. No, was not Gen Z. This guy was probably late 50s, early 60s. And he just looked like he just didn't care what I had to say. 1931 Leatherworks. You know what? It's not worth it. I know how big retail works. For years, I was a manager at Home Depot and Lowe's, and you can complain all you want. It does nothing. I can assure you that. So, well, Nicholas Zeus, cool name. Here's the thing. One thing I've always believed in. If you're going to take a job, I don't care how small the job is. I've worked crappy jobs in my life, but do it with a little bit of pride. You don't necessarily have the pride in job, pride in your performance. Take pride. Do the best you can. And I know this guy was older, so for him, he doesn't really care. He doesn't see it as a career, and he just sees it as he might even be there just for the holidays. Who knows? But I know when I do a job, I know when I'm at work, if I make a mistake or I do something wrong, it actually gets to me. Like it bothers me, And why? Because I have pride in what I do. I want to do the best I possibly can, you know, and that just grinds my gears. All right. Now we've got two bad customer service stories. No, you're right, Rolf. It's not. I get that totally. Again, I worked in retail for years upon years, you know, and I get it. It's not in everybody's blood. In fact, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not. But all right, enough of the bad customer service stuff. We got to get moving on. So let's start doing some pocket checks. I honestly didn't carry anything today. I never left the house. Today was a day, got up, made breakfast, and just hung out on the couch all day and fat assed it watching football. So, and I made some awesome chili. I did make a great homemade chili. So, oh, absolutely, Cicero. 100%, you know, but I don't know. I just, like I said, I take pride in what I do. It's one of the things that, I get very upset when I make mistakes or I do something wrong. And I feel it, like I stress over it. Some people don't, you know. Rams is silent with the Leatherman Arc, the Sog Power Pint, the Olight Mini 2, the Rovivon Aurora 4, the Spyderco Bodacious S30V, nice. The Tenable Fenrir the Nitro V, the CRK Obake Fixed Blade, the Outdoor Element Neck Knife, and his Zippo with the Bit Kit. Very cool. That's true, Dirty Dan. I mean, at any given time, I'm not kidding. At any given time, there's probably I don't know, in arm's reach between 10 and 20 knives. So, yeah, I gotcha. Wyvern Kodiak, what's up? What's up? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Neil, I have big backpacks. This is more for not even for EDC. This is for like when I do like day hikes and stuff like that. Fred the Lug, welcome in, buddy. I have bigger backpacks. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted something smaller. You know, something bigger than a sling, but something smaller than my bug out bags or my big camping backpacks and hiking backpacks. You know, but so what else are we all carrying? Now, if you want to say one thing I was kind of fidgeting with today, I wasn't really carrying, but I was sitting on the couch doing this. This is such a fun fidgety knife, this tack knife. You know, it's loud though, so I can only do that for so long before I annoy everyone around me, which in this case would have been just my wife. No worries, Fred. We all know you're here. We appreciate that. Nice. The Malaya on your neck. Very cool. The Maya is a really nice design. I know some people, Lou, wherever you are, hopefully you're here. You're just not, you know. Yeah, Bill. You'll come around. You'll come around. You carried the O knife Duron. Very cool. And a TCAL adversary. Very nice. Very nice. I keep seeing messages get retracted. Neil McKenzie, you just retracted 2 messages. Robert Jones, you retracted 1. What up? No carry, illegal. That's right. You're on vacation. You're over in Japan. Very cool. Very cool. Now, Fred, did you find any knives there that you would think about buying and shipping home? Or not shipping home, but, purchasing there and bringing back to the US? Just curious. On the Eclipse, I hate T6s. I'm gonna be honest with you. I despise T6s. I even brought that up to, um, Ben Peterson about why he uses T6s, and he's like, "Well, it's a common design choice," and I said, "Yeah, but, you know, it's not a great one." And then oh, very cool. Carrying the, Finch Geneva Spur. I saw that in your video, by the way. I did see that, which is very cool. But I had mentioned that, and, he kinda seemed, like, a little shocked. I mean, he used it on the Naps at Night episode, and that people would say that, but then when he had Neves on, or when Neves did his video from Naps, he had brought it up to Ben. And I guess Ben didn't realize how he, or didn't realize that so many people hated T6s. Ah, gotcha, Neil. Gotcha. But bought 1 custom folder and 2 handmade kitchen knives. A few bullets of Japanese Damascus. Very nice. Very, very cool. The Finch Cherry Bomb is an outstanding knife, Rolf. 100%. Correct. Absolutely correct. By the way, I see the Chiefs and Texans game is tied 10-10 at the half. So very cool, Fred. That's awesome. That's awesome. I had a employee of mine who um, lived in Japan. Well, he was a Marine. He was stationed in Japan. Then he got married to a girl from Japan, moved back here, and worked for me for about a year, and then announced to me that he was going back to Japan so that way he could be with her family. And he loved it there. Absolutely. You know. So Neil McKenzie, you've got the 6-leaf SL18, the mini pyrite, and the tiny SOG on a keyring. Very cool. Very cool. Ivan Hernandez, welcome from Argentina. Welcome in, my friend. Glad to have you here. We're just here talking knives. We're getting ready for Christmas, and you know, yeah, I didn't think that was really going to happen, Cicero. So I didn't think they were going to win that game going into it. I just thought they looked so bad the last couple of weeks, but they took care of business, and all of a sudden Rogers came alive. So it looked like, I mean, he even ran for a touchdown. What the hell? I think that was still possible with his legs. Stay dangerous. Ah, knives aren't dangerous. They're just tools. I mean, they could be dangerous, but anything can be dangerous, you know, if used properly or improperly. So, Robert Jones's fault. Okay, Wyvern, that's good. They suck, period. Cicero, you want to hear something funny? I heard a Ravens fan the other day, and he was talking about how they're sick of Harbaugh, and what they were saying they should solve each team's problem and trade for each other's coach, 1-for-1 trade coaches. I know it wasn't serious, but it made me laugh. I was like, yeah, you know. Although it's hard to say with Tomlin, and I'll tell you why. Being a Jets fan, I would take a decade of making the playoffs and winning one Super Bowl over sucking every year and being eliminated after week one. So, if you guys want to let Tomlin go, I wouldn't mind seeing him in green. But even though honestly, I can't stand Tomlin. I think he has the biggest chip on his shoulder and he has an attitude and he always has. And, you know, and the fact that he probably, probably should never have had that chip on his shoulder because he inherited a Super Bowl team and it was his GM that kept the team together, So let's be honest. But I still think he's a good coach. I don't care how, you know, but that's Cicero, but that's not a problem. That's not a coaching problem. What that's a problem is being a mid-tier playoff team. You're never bad enough to refill your stash of players, okay? And you're too good to again, you're never bad enough to get those top draft picks. And you keep making the playoffs, but you're not good enough to get over that hump. So what happens is you just kind of get to the playoffs and you get knocked out. It happens to a lot of teams. Years ago, in when Rex Ryan was coach of the Jets and the Jets were making the AFC Championship for those couple of years, they were in the same situation. For a bunch of years, they were playing mid-level football. They were never bad enough to get good picks, and they were just good enough not to get over the hump. It happens. It happened to the 49ers for a long time. It's one of those things. It happened. You're right, but unfortunately, you have to do it two ways. In order to get your team over the top, you got to hit rock bottom so you can get the top tier draft picks because you still don't have a quarterback now. You haven't had a legitimate quarterback since Ben left or Ben retired, and you're not ever bad enough to get that good quarterback. And I don't care what anybody tells me, nobody wins in this league without a top tier quarterback. So, it's the reason why the Jets have been bad for the last 20 years. They haven't had a quarterback. They've had good defenses, they've had running backs, they've had receivers, but they've never had a quarterback in the last 20 years. So, it is what it is. It's very rare that teams come through and get a fifth round pick like a Purdy who's become a pretty damn good quarterback, last pick in the draft. Who the hell expected that? That doesn't happen. But that is what it is. And I mean, another team that's kind of been stuck in that kind of rut over the years is Miami. Miami comes up with these 9-win seasons, and they're never bad enough to get that quarterback. They're not good enough to go over the hump. There are a lot of teams who are stuck in that cycle. It is what it is. Oh yeah, absolutely. Dirty Dan. Exactly, Cicero. It's where it's at. That's why I'm rooting for the Jets to lose every game from now to the end of the season, knowing that we've got 5 number 1 picks in the next 2 years. And with the Colts, with Jones blowing out his Achilles today, they're going to be done for the rest of the year. That's just going to help the Jets' cause because they own the Colts draft picks or draft pick, I should say. You know, Jets will get their quarterback after this year by hook or by crook. Whether it's in the draft or whether it's going to be signing a free agent. You know, but I mean, honestly, my other team's the 49ers, and Mac Jones played the hell played the hell out of all those games when he was in there for Purdy. He's another one of those quarterbacks who's going to turn out to be really good on a second team, like Darno is right now, like Geno Smith is right now. You know, yeah, exactly, Roger, exactly. So Donnie Bless of Laser Ghost Knives. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, my friend. No, foosball's really cool. I remember having a foosball table years ago, loving foosball. Drink a few beers, play some foosball. It was always a good time, you know. On the Edge EDC. Hello there. Glad you're here, channel member. Misadventure is a diehard Broncos fan. She is very, very happy. No, Brian. Oh, Brian White. Hello there. Didn't realize you were here. Welcome in. Welcome in. No, that's not true. When they had Testaverde was very good for the Jets, and Chad Pennington was very good for the Jets. But unfortunately, we decided that we were going to give up on Pennington and let him go to Miami, where he played really well. We had Brett Favre, and honestly speaking, if Brett Favre doesn't hurt his arm in Week 11, the Jets were rolling that year, and Favre was actually having a career year, and then he hurt his arm and they kept it a secret and he couldn't throw and the Jets fell off, you know. Well, I mean everybody Robin, everybody has their opinion. Some people like sports, some people don't, you know. But I like I like football. Always have. But I like all the sports. I'm a sports junkie, you know. All right. So, so what does everybody have on their Christmas list? Anybody have anything they're looking at, hoping to get for Christmas? I know for me, there's a couple of knives. I want that that lower price Spartan blades, you know, the one that I think is like, well, right now I saw it was on sale for $116, but they're sold out. Go figure. But that looks like a decent knife for the money. I still want to get the Monterey Bay Wolverine. Don't have that one, you know. Um, you want a home closer to work. Gotcha. Gotcha. I was thinking more knives, but okay, Blue, you're entitled. Good call, Blue. You could really use your two teeth. Mm, I'm right there with you. I got some missing teeth at the moment too. Um, but I digress. So those are two that I'm looking at. Now I know it's not going to be out in time for Christmas, but I really like uh, KC's new Tempest that's coming out. I don't know if you guys have seen it. He's posted some of it on the Instagrams. That looks really cool. There's the Devo drop this week that I won't have the money for, but I would really like one of those. Um, you know, but oh, hold on. There was one more knife that came today. Where did I put it? Hold please. I forgot. There is one more knife that came. Let me go grab it. I thought I threw it in my pocket. Sorry for the interruption. You guys just hang out. Okay, where did I leave this knife? Okay. I forgot all about this knife. This one came today, and I totally forgot about it. All right. Sorry. One more knife to show you guys that came, and that came today. That's this guy from Civivi. This is the Outlaw Muck. This is a Nest Muck design, 14C28N blade steel, button lock, Nest Muck blade style. This was designed by American Outlaw. Really, really nice. knife. These come in. These are about seven. No, I think these are selling for. Yeah, these are about 60. Yeah, these are like $63. So this came today. Deep pocket, reversible clip, G10 handles, but really cool. The only thing I wish it had was jimping up here. You guys know my love of Nessmuck knives. I've spoken about that before. I'm a big fan of Nessmuck. Um, you know, I still use his you know camping book from whatever it was, 1917 or whatever it was. That book as a guide because it still holds up today. But I love my Nessmucks, so I had to have this one. This video will be coming out very soon, possibly even tomorrow. Um, the cable company, Gator, hello there. What's up, buddy? Glad you made it in. If you guys aren't following the cable company, go over to his channel and subscribe to him. He does some fun game shows with trivia, almost like a hangman style. He does a lot of fun content. And what's really nice is he helps um, other YouTubers get over in his live streams, which is always greatly appreciated. I've gained a lot of subscribers over the last year thanks to the cable company, you know. So definitely go into, let me see if I can go to channel. I'm going to, let me see if I can do this. If somebody, let me just grab, we'll grab a video. Okay. He does a lot of history stuff, which is really cool. I'm going to, if somebody actually can post, yeah, EKG is going to post this link. So very cool. Yeah, EKG just posted his link. So if you want to go there, that's a short. You could just go there, like it, subscribe. That would be really cool. EDC KO10 with the heart for 10 jewels. Thank you. But yeah, definitely check out his channel. He does a lot of fun stuff. Air 8800, hello there. Welcome in, welcome in. On the Edge EDC, did I miss you? No, I think I said hello to you before. But if I didn't, hello there. And glad you're here. So what else does everybody have on their Christmas lists? Now that I showed you, the news of Evie. Hey, Brown Sugar, did you win any giveaways any other giveaways this week? Because you have been the luckiest person. You and Rolf lately are on a roll with winning giveaways. Nobody's got anything they want for Christmas? I know. I'm pretty sure I have other stuff that but off the top of my head, I can't think of it. You know, excuse me. There are some cool knives out there. You did have a good week. Yes, you did. The new compact Excalibur. Did Metal Complex show that? I didn't see that. That's cool. Is it going to be ridiculously expensive? Just curious. The Essential Knight. Okay. Very cool. You're lucky enough to win a waffle. Gotcha. Gotcha. You want a Red Ryder BB gun? Nice. Now uh, Rough Rider Knives have a special Red Ryder BB gun knife out at the moment. I keep seeing it. I haven't bought it yet. You have a TKL Guardian or nice. Nice. Nothing wrong with a penguin, especially if you get one of the glide locks. I mean, I have 2 penguins. One was one that I won from Gareth and his giveaway that was customized by Jimmy Crow, which I love that knife. And that's one I won't part with because it means a lot that it was a win. Um, from somebody I really love, and the fact that it was customized by Jimmy Crow is just it's phenomenal. And I have my original penguin. I Well, both of them I have aligner locks. I do want to get the top glide lock, but there's a new crystallized titanium version that's going to be sold exclusively on traditional pocket knives. That's dropping next week. Unfortunately, it's got a $200 price point. I'm not going to get it, but I would love to have it. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but those are gorgeous. Rocking and Emerson. Think it's time to look for a new knife. Nicholas, it's always time to look for a new knife. It gets me in so much trouble. You know, you have 9 knives, Fred. Nice. Yeah, I'm Fred. I'm the same way right now. I've got stuff coming, like I was saying before. I got stuff coming next week. I'm not going to order anything else for the rest of the year. You know, maybe if my wife wants to give me a knife or two, I'm okay with that. And I think I told you guys my strategy for next year, where every week, and you guys know who've been here in the lives. I mean, this is now the 38th live stream. Every week, I show you I get multiple knives in. Some of them are knives that were sent to the channel, but most of them I bought, and it adds up to a lot of money. So I'm pulling back next year. I'm going to be buying basically one knife a month. You know, instead of buying 10 lower budget knives or whatever. I'm just going to buy one knife a month. I'll obviously have stuff that's being sent to the channel, and there's more stuff and more companies who I'm working with week by week. So there won't be a lack of content. You know, I plan to actually step up the content. Now, there are so many knives that I bought this year that I never reviewed, and I'm going to review those. Todd Carr, welcome in, my friend. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. So with that, it's going to be a much slower pace of knives coming in. So when we do these live streams, you won't be getting to see 10 knives at a time that came in or that sort of thing. You know, it it's only going to be again what's sent to the channel for review. Um, some stuff's going to be that I'm going to get is from going to be in pass around groups that are set up. You know, so it's going to be a little different next year. It's going to be different. I spent a lot of money trying to establish the channel this year, you know, where I don't think I need to. Master Sergeant, well done. Well, Master Sergeant, you're not far off. I am considering doing a whatnot one night and selling off like maybe 25 to 50 knives. Everybody will know about that well in advance. Um, I think that's coming up because I have to reduce the amount of knives that I have. You know, we're talking about at this point over 300 knives. So I don't need that many knives. Can never use that many knives. Part of it was this year because I was trying to do, 5 to 6 different daily pocket checks, and I never wanted to repeat knives this year. So there was that. I was trying to establish a channel, and the channel's growing. It's grown, you know, very nicely thanks to everybody here. I appreciate that. And if you are a first time here tonight, and you came by, um, you know, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Yeah, it is a lot. Um, you want to see how out of control this is? I'm going to turn the camera just for a second. All right, I'm going to turn the camera. Let's see if I can get a view of the couch. See the couch? That's all knives sitting there in a pile. Crazy, 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 crazy. Oops. So let's get this set back. I don't know if you're able to see that, but those are all just knives just sitting piled up because one, they're mostly EDC 10. Welcome, new channel member. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. You get a lightsaber salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. And now you're eligible to get into the members giveaway. So make sure you go hit that video that was pinned in. It's at the top of the description for the live. Make sure you go there, leave a comment, and that way you'll be eligible. On the Edge EDC upgrading his membership to the Explorers Club. Thank you so much. And you'll get a lightsaber salute. Very cool. Brown Sugar member for 2 months with the lightsaber salute. Very cool. Appreciate that. By the way, aren't phaser salutes and lightsaber salutes so much cooler than a kazoo? Just saying. I don't know. I think they're cooler than a kazoo. But if anybody wants, I could play the kazoo. I could pop this open and play the kazoo. Just saying. On the Edge EDC member for 1 month. Thank you, my friend. You get a lightsaber salute. Thank you so much. No, not at all. I love Rob. I absolutely. I'm in Rob's live every Monday. I absolutely love Rob. But I have to tease him about the kazoo. Even if his comment videos, I always call him Captain Kazoo, captain of the kazoo crew. I have no problem with the kazoo. I just like to tease him. And I know there are some people in here who don't like the kazoo. So with that being said, I like to tease with the kazoo. But no, there's no shade at all. I love Rob. And I don't know if anybody, Jay Corskaden, member for 3 months, you get a lightsaber salute. Ramses, you have on an Amazon gift list the CV Buster FG, the Civivi Vision FG, the CJRB Bolt, love the Bolt, Kaiser 2 Original, very cool. Yes, I mean, Rolf, you had the giant win, so that would make it definitely worth it. Elijah, hello there. I didn't realize you were here. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Thank you for coming in. James McCann with $1 Super Chat. Excellent, Al Ciano. Definitely. Robert Jones has a good channel. It's an up and coming channel. Glad you joined. Very glad you joined. All right. So, okay. So let's talk about what's going on with the channel. You guys know I'm close to 3,000 subscribers, and we're getting there. We're getting closer every day. And with the rate that I don't know if you guys saw the post I put up, but last month we had our record for subscribers to the channel. I think it was like 468 subscribers alone last month, which was really cool. I appreciated that. But we're less than 300 subs away. We're averaging about 250 a month on average. The last couple months have been higher, so that's a good sign. We should break 3,000 subscribers by the first of the year. The giveaways until then, tonight's giveaway and the next giveaway, the next members giveaway next month will be more controlled giveaways. But when we get to 3,000, we're going to have a party. Like we're going to party like it's 1999, to quote Prince, and we're gonna have a couple of big, I mean, big giveaways for 3,000. So there'll be, obviously we'll do like we did when we got to 2,500. There'll be two members giveaways, one for the upper tier members, one for the regular tier members, and then we'll have a third non-members giveaway, and they'll be scaled accordingly. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't thank you folks enough with the growth of this channel. You guys have come here, you've stuck around, you guys come and hang out every Sunday night, even though it's late for a lot of people, you know, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it totally. Did I miss anybody coming in? Dwayne Letterman, hello there. I don't know if I said hello to you yet, but if I didn't, well, hello there. You know, James, Master of None. Welcome in, welcome in. Glad you're here. You know, Ron Crow, member for 4 months. Ron gets a lightsaber salute. Excellent. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that. So I did want to reach out. Like I said, I started saying it before and I got distracted because, you know me, shiny object. I lose track of everything I was doing, you know. Ed, Ed, CKO10, thank you for the hearts or for the 10 jewels. Appreciate that. All right. I know. I know. Next week we'll go back to a horizontal. Like I said, this was a mistake going vertical tonight. I screwed that up on me. One of the things I stress at, you know, I didn't realize it when we first started, but it is what it is. Getting back, when I did the video this week on the RoseCraft, which a lot of you people have watched and commented on, some people had commented that my board looks too busy and that stuff gets lost on there. But I have other people comment that they like the camo pattern on my mat, my work mat. So I don't know whether to keep it or not. I noticed that when I do knives that are dark colored, they get lost on my camouflage mat because it's mostly combination of black and grays. Where if I do a bright colored knife, it's easy to see. So what I'm thinking is I might change up the mat. I might get a light colored mat for when I'm doing. Don't go. Wait, what? EDC KO10 with a gifted membership, which goes to Fred the Lug. Thank you. Appreciate that. You get another lightsaber salute. So, with that being said, don't do it again, please. Laugh out loud. Wait, what are we not doing? Oh, the vertical. I promise I won't be doing a vertical, you know, unless it's a weird pop up. But our regular one, we will be horizontal. I will not screw that up again. You know, I make the mistake once. That's it. I'm not going to make that again. So, but getting back to what I was saying, what do you guys think about the mat? Should I go light color? Should I change it up if I'm doing dark colored knives? Use a light color back, and if I do the light color, go with the dark. Or should I just leave it because it's kind of my trademark having the camouflage mat that everybody knows my videos from? I want your feedback because you know you guys basically tell me what to do. You know, EDC CKO10, high five for 100 jewels. Awesome, thank you so much. Now I don't know what the jewels do. I think it helps promote the channel. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll take it. You know, okay, okay. No, and I get that, Joe. So do you want me to go lighter on it? I mean, I will. I'll go lighter if it makes everybody, if it's easier for everybody to see, you know? But gotcha. Okay. Nicholas is a struggle. K Mason 37 sent a high five for 100 joules. Very cool. Thank you so much. Um, I guess what I could do is just try it and see how it works. You know, I'll use the lighter color matte and see what everybody feels. Now, the one thing I did point out in the mat in the video this week was that Zach from Zach Stuff sent me the pink DSKFS um, patch to replace the blue one that I was using, and I also added the pink ribbon to my board. And I spoke about that. That you guys know about my sister-in-law, and she's battling breast cancer, and she's doing okay. She's got another surgery coming up on Tuesday because they found additional cancer in her arm and her lymph nodes. So hopefully they caught that. It seems like they caught that early enough, So, but I did want to thank Zach from Zach Stuff. Um, he's a large part of me really getting into the community and understanding how good this community is. When I first started watching one of these videos, I didn't really watch lives. I just watched the videos, and I started watching bees. The first four that I really started watching were bees, G-Ball, Big Red, and then by virtue of Big Red, Zach. The first giveaway that I won was Zach's, and I couldn't believe that somebody would just, because I picked a number, send me a knife and a whole, flurry of stuff. That's when I was still kind of getting my feet wet in the community, and I think that actually helped me draw me to the community. I was like, wow, these people are really cool. I mean, they don't know me from Adam, and and he sent me this knife and this other whole bunch of swag and all kinds of stuff. And then I started getting into the community more and more, and then I, started growing my channel, and now I'm here with all you crazy knife nuts like I am, and it's really the coolest community around. Having been part of the guitar community, which is just terrible, and the paranormal community, which is also terrible, partially terrible. There are some good people there. Um, but yeah, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Robin, that's seem for a lot of people I've heard that's how it kind of happened. They want to give away or whatever, and have gone from there. So, but all right. So let's start going over um what's in the box. Now, hopefully everybody who's a member left comments. I'm going to be taking my iPad off to start setting up for the comment video. So we'll give that a few minutes, but let's go over what's in this box. Again, this box is not a box of expensive stuff, but it's a lot of stuff in here. So let's open the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? So, first thing in the box is a microfiber cleaning cloth for your knife because we all need that. That's number one. Second is a foam floaty keychain. I'm not gonna lie, there's filler in this box. The next thing we have in here is this flashlight on a lanyard. This thing's kind of cool because it's a pen. It's a pen, it's a flashlight, it's on a lanyard. The flashlight lights up where you can, if you need to write at night, you can actually write with the pen, with the light. Kind of use it as a little lantern, right? And of course, if you go the other way, it's a flashlight. Nothing great. It's, your run-of-the-mill flashlight. It is on a lanyard, and it does have a clip. So that'll go in there as well. Then we have a little keychain lockback knife. Solid lockup on there. 7CR stainless on that little guy. Very reminiscent of a Spyderco, you know. Like again, solid lockup. The lock works. It's really small, so I don't. No, I'm not going to try and flip that out. Jimping right there. Kind of a cool. It's serrated. You know, it's partially serrated, but not a bad little keychain knife. So that's in there. Then we have this Imperial knife. Again, just a little knife, 3.5 finger grip, you know. I believe 3CR stainless on that, you know. It's a liner lock. It is an Imperial, you know. But I don't know if I could Spidey foot this one. Oh, no, I can't Spidey foot this one because it's only got a stud on one side, you know. But it's cool. I mean, it is cool for what it is. Then in this little box, we have a small multi-tool. Has a pouch. It's a GE parts branded multi-tool. But not a bad little thing. You know, it's small. You know, it's got your blade on it. It's got your little saw blade, flathead screwdriver with a bottle opener. Let's see what's on the other side. You've got your nail file. You've got, looks like an awl, can opener, and then like a pry bar, another flathead. So it's just a little, you know, just a little multi-tool that I wanted to include in there, you know. Put that back in the box. And then the last thing is another knife, which is a knife that I actually like. It's an Elk Ridge. It's a slip joint. I will get that out. It's a pretty looking knife. Dual bladed. I really like the wood on that. It looks nice. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate you stumbling in and subscribing. And I'm hoping to see you around more. But kind of cool. Don't know how sharp it is. Let's see if it's sharp at all. Let's get some paper out. Let's see if it's sharp. Oh, it's pretty sharp. Not bad at all. Not that the paper test is the greatest test in the world, but kind of gives you an idea of how sharp it is out of the box. Let's see. Is this one not as sharp? Nope, it's pretty sharp. So not bad. Very cool. All right. So that's what we have in here. There's also a swag pack with stickers and that kind of stuff. We've got, I've got so many stickers in there. I don't know what's in there. And to go through and pull out all the stickers, just know you're getting a nice swag pack with a lot of stickers. But All right. So we'll put everything back in the box and we'll get that packed up. We'll throw some bubble wrap in there so nothing moves around. All right. So I will take out the comment picker and we'll get that set up and ready to go. Hopefully everybody now has entered into that. All right. So let's go here. Okay. Nice. We have a bunch of comments in there. That's excellent. Temporarily. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I get this set up, because why not? Okay. All right. Now let's go to the comment picker. Random comment picker. All right. YouTube comment picker. All right. Really? Copy. Let's try this again. There we go. All right. We will filter duplicate users. Number of winners will be 1. We will. Let's do the spinning names. And we'll go for. Let's go for 35 seconds. We can add this number together, I think. So we got 24 comments. So you got 1 in 24 odds of winning. So and all right, are we ready, folks? Let me turn the volume up. If I find where the volume switcher. Oh, got this all screwed up. And we will turn up the volume. And we are ready to go. Let's maximize that. And let's get started. I would have rather had a drum roll. So we got the names going. Let's see who our winner is. Do 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 bum ba-dum bum 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 bum. And the winner is Neil McKenzie. Neil, you are the winner. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the sound on that. you know, but congrats, Neil McKenzie. Not sure if Neil's still here, but you don't, but members don't have to be here. So, Neil, if you are here, just let me know. There's Neil. Yes, Neil, you won. So, as it said in the rules, you can email me. Um, you can email me with your information, or you can reach out to me on the Instagrams. I'll just need a screenshot of your login just to verify, even though I know who you are, Neil, at this point, you know. And I'll need you to send me your information. I'll get that out. I'll be hitting the post office at the end of the week. I got a bunch of stuff to send out. So that stuff will be going out. So congratulations, Neil. I appreciate you being a member, and you know, so there you go. Oh, that's right. Neil's at work, aren't you? I forgot about that. But very cool that very cool, and thank you for being here. With that, I'm going to wrap up. We're just past 90 minutes. You guys know I usually go 2 hours, but I do have to get some stuff done before tomorrow. Uh, right now at work, I am like totally Mitten State EDC Brian F. What's up, my friend? Glad you're here. Brian F., who does amazing things for the community. Appreciate that. So I'm going to wrap up tonight. It was a very good show. I appreciate all the new people who were here tonight. That's awesome. It was a really, really good show. And I appreciate, again, all of you. Love this community. And like I said, I'm going to wrap up. I got a lot of stuff going on at work, so I can't stay up all night like I usually do. So I need to kind of round it down. It's kind of a really busy time. And Bill, I'm glad you could make it the whole show today. I know right now because you're home from work because of the knee injury, but thank you, Blue. I appreciate it. Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate that. Again, love all you people. As I always say, until we meet again, keep your blade sharp. All right, folks, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you all soon. I'll see you in the chats. Much love, everybody.